Hi guys, Riaz here from Blades and Triggers, and welcome back. So today I've got a bit of a collection here in front of me which we're going to be looking at, and yeah, it's none other than all the paintball markers, or a few of the paintball markers that we do stock at Blades and Triggers. So we're going to be looking at the entry level basics and what makes these in front of us tick or look or do what they do. So yeah, let's get into it and take a look at these few markers. All right guys, so yeah, starting things off, and basically let's take a look at the Spyder Victor. So your Spyder Victor would be a basic entry level paintball marker that yeah, pretty much anybody would start off with. These are the general guns that you obviously find, or markers that you obviously find at basic fields, or if anybody obviously, like I said, wants to start off paintball, it pretty much has everything that you obviously need to actually deploy or shoot a paintball marker, or anything of the like for that matter. Your standard barrel, which your marker ball obviously comes from, your hopper that holds, this specific one holds around about 50 balls, and you get the bigger or larger hoppers that hold up to about 200 balls, and typically that's how your balls obviously feed into the rifle, or into the marker specifically itself. You have a safety button on the bottom over here, and this has something called a double trigger, or a larger trigger, a fin trigger itself, just for a little bit more use, and it makes it a lot more simpler, much more easier for beginners itself to actually pull the trigger on that specific on the specific gun itself. And then yeah, you get your standard CO2 bottle, and depending on what size bottle would obviously give you the amount of shots that you obviously desire. Something like this would roughly give you around about 300 to 400 shots, and yeah, get you pretty much into the game. So yeah, quite simple. All you do, pop balls in, gas bottle on, and that generally makes up the makeup of a paintball marker. Cock the gun to the back and then fire. That's where you go. So yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the guns up in front of me. I'll take a look at the bigger and larger ones. All right guys, so taking a look at the three markers beside me over here, paintball obviously took a bit of evolution, if you can call it that, and with the times they've obviously evolved or created the markers to look a lot more realistic, or to look a little bit better, and obviously look the part when it comes to the game, or to get when you obviously get into the game itself. So what guys obviously preferred, the guns obviously looked, or the markers for that matter, looked a lot more realistic, and yeah, this is what you obviously have, the end result of that. There definitely are a lot more markers out there that we will be looking at, or will be looking at in the near future, and taking a look at their characteristics as well. But for starters, we obviously got the Cronus Tactical. This specific model does come in, if I can call it, three different variants. You get a color change, where this is the olive, there's a tan model as well, and then you obviously get the basic model, whereas the basic model doesn't have your added extras on it to obviously get to the realistic feature. So what that obviously entails is, for guys that want to obviously start paintball, you can start off with the basic model and then move up to something like this, which obviously looks a lot more realistic. So what the Cronus Tactical is actually made up of, it also uses a standard hopper that fits up on the top, and your gas bottle runs alongside that as well. And the cool thing about this specific model is that you have these tactical rails, one on either side, and that allows you to obviously dress the marker up a little bit, so you can actually put on a torch, a laser, and whatnot. And I mean, there's a lot of different options, or a lot of different purposes for that specific for those specific rails. In most cases, if you find yourself playing a night game, for that matter, you can obviously put a torch on there, or alternatively just add a bit of a camera on there to record all your videos, all your games, in so many words. It has this fake silencer, if you can call it that, for obviously for looks, and your barrel obviously just screws up on the front in there, or in the shroud itself. This is just basically a standard 8-inch barrel, And the nice thing about paintball markers is that there's always upgrades that you can obviously add onto these. Unfortunately, with the bare basics, not much, but these markers, yeah, you can obviously do a lot more upgrades to them, and that's why they go with these, or I get these specific looks. So from the Cronus Tactical, we're going to look at the Stormer, and this over here is the Stormer Elite. Just as the Cronus Tactical, or the same with the Cronus Tactical, it does come in 3 different variants as well, all in the color black. But you get your Stormer Basic, where you get the standard gun without the shroud, and then you get the Stormer Tactical. So the Stormer Tactical and the Stormer Elite, there's a slight difference. The Stormer Elite, being the prestigious or the high-end marker, actually has magazines, working magazines. So these, it's a MagFed marker, so you can actually alternate the specific marker to use a hopper, which fits on the top over here, or alternatively, for a little bit more realistic features, a realistic look, you can obviously go with the magazines. So the magazine takes around about 19 rounds to be exact, and yeah, that basically just tucks away nicely in the gun. You have this awesome realistic look and feel to it. It has cool pop-up sights that comes with the marker as well, which basically flips up on there, and yeah, you get rails all on top and the bottom, where you can also add those accessories or a little more things to it. The gas bottle also screws into the bottom, and yeah, that's your makeup of the Stormer Elite. And moving from the Stormer Elite, my old favorite is the Tippmann TMC. So with this specific model, once again, 3 different colors. You can get it in tan, you can get it in black, and yeah, there's a gray model that we generally do get as well, but the more popular models is the tan and the black model. And the nice thing about the Stormer Elite, coming from the the TMC, for that matter, the TMC, it is also magazine fed, as well as it can take a hopper on the top as well. This is the dummy magazine, which basically pops into there, and we put a feed neck on the top. And this specific model is a little bit more customizable in so many words. You can actually put an air-through stock on the top for that full-length realistic feature, where you take the bottle away from the bottom and then run it directly in line, and that will give you an awesome look as well. So with this specific model, you get your tactical rails or your Picatinny rails, where you can actually add on different add-ons, torches, lasers, different foregrips that works on the specific model. And yeah, you're looking at a little bit more of a lengthier barrel on the specific model. The barrel thread on these you can obviously interchange, and yeah, taking it from there, a pretty decent rifle, pretty decent marker nonetheless. This specific model is pretty much designed around your AR-15 platform. So it has your typical AR-15 safety, a decent AR-15 grip, and yeah, your trigger over there, your cocking lever as well, very realistic, pretty much identical to an actual AR-15 cocking handle on the specific model. So, and the nice thing about paintball markers, which we will obviously look at when we take the markers down to the range soon, we're going to be shooting them, we're going to be testing them, different ammo, if you can call it that. I've got paintballs, and generally what the paintball markers can also be used for as an alternative would be obviously for something for home defense. And yeah, you get different balls for that matter, and the cool thing about it, the velocities can be adjusted, so these will work perfectly for that as well. But yeah, I think stay tuned to the next round, where we're going to be taking the markers onto the field and showing you what it does. And yeah, safety off, all that you need to do is fire, and pretty much as fast as you pull the trigger, that's where the balls would actually go. So yeah, let's check through the others. I've got the Cronus up next, and yeah, I'll show you what we can do there. All right guys, so next time I've got the Tippmann Cronus, and as you can see off the bat, a completely different rifle, or different marker in so many words. This is obviously a lot more aesthetics to it, with the shroud up in front, stock, and your foregrip or your hand grip on the top. Definitely a different marker. I've got the hopper loaded with paintballs, and yeah, your gas bottle on. Let's check what it does. And yeah, there you have the Tippmann Cronus. All right, so which one to go for? I think at this stage I'm gonna obviously go for the TMC, and yeah, pretty much one and the same. Both of these markers are obviously MagFed, the Stormer on my right and the TMC on my left. But yeah, for this instance, we're obviously gonna shoot the TMC. And I think in most cases, once you do look and feel or feel the guns, you'll notice the difference in terms of how the guns actually feel. A little bit more of a rubberized coating on the end of the Stormer, whereas the TMC, yeah, definitely a little bit more realistic in so many words. But yeah, let's give it a shot. So once the mag is loaded or wound up and balls popped in, all you need to do is engage, similar to a normal M4 mag, cock on the top end, and yeah, our safety on the far end, or the left hand side in so many words. Here we go. All right, then obviously just for interest sakes, just to give you an overall aspect of what these markers can, or how far the marker can actually shoot at, accurately for that sake, I've got my shed at least about 30 meters in front of me. So yeah, here goes. All right, one dropping slightly, but yeah, the rest of them all in the same area and quite accurate nonetheless. All right, so there we have it, a full, or basically a basic list of all the paintball markers that you'd find at Blades and Triggers, from the entry level or just to get started to, yeah, a little bit more advanced in terms of much more snazzier looking paintball markers. For a list of all these, follow the link below, or basically shop online at bntonline.co.za. The link below will direct you directly to our marker section. Otherwise, visit any of our 12 stores nationwide to set up yourself for a decent kit. See you on the next one.